Don't think I should be happy or blissful. Accept that life happens. We're going to roll with the punches. We're going to sometimes feel happy. We're going to sometimes feel low and sad. And it's okay to feel that way as long as it is not to a point where we're constantly in those states and we're feeling stuck. In this video, I'm going to share with you a tool that you can use to help to develop your emotional intelligence and to enhance your own self-awareness. Now, this tool you can use from anywhere from children to adults. It doesn't matter. It's a very straightforward tool that you can use that will help you to assess how you're feeling and therefore what you need. And I'm going to walk you through in this video exactly what that looks like and how you can apply it to your own life. Emotional intelligence is really the starting point to be able to regulate our emotions, and self-awareness is required in order to be able to also check in with how you're feeling. And this is exactly what this tool does. It allows you to have a gauge of your mood and your energy and how pleasant you're feeling. And that is going to allow you to ask yourself further questions in order to inquire what your needs are. So this is what I call the mood gauge. So it's a very straightforward graph where on the y-axis, this line here, you can see this is your energy. So this is your energy level. So the lower you are on this line, the lower your energy level, and the higher you are, then the higher your energy level. And on the x-axis is your state of pleasantness. So again, the more to the right you are, the higher your state of pleasantness. Now, you may be already quite skilled in terms of checking in with yourself and understanding how you're feeling, maybe even doing some meditation and some journaling. So therefore, this practice may seem quite straightforward, but I suppose this video is really aimed for those who are just getting into emotional intelligence and really wanting to build on their self-awareness and are quite early into their journey. So this is a great segue into this practice of checking in with yourself. But also, if you're feeling quite overwhelmed, if you're feeling quite clouded, this is just a really good exercise to use to help you to clear your mind and figure out, even if you can't pinpoint exactly how you're feeling, just give you a starting point as to where you are in this graph. So I'm going to walk you through now. Let's start with the top right, the green area here. This is if you're feeling quite pleasant and also have a lot of energy. So you might be feeling ecstatic, blissful, happy, just life's really going well. You have a lot of energy, you're feeling good, and you're feeling really pleasant. So this is like the green zone. So it's probably quite obvious when you're feeling quite pleasant and have a lot of energy at the same time. It's probably going to be quite clear that you're feeling green, I'm feeling good. So that's the green zone there. Now let's work our way down to the blue zone. So this is where you still are feeling quite pleasant, but your energy is lower. So it might be you're feeling just quite calm, relaxed, tranquil, content. Like you're feeling, don't have a lot of energy, you're not dancing around, yet you're still very pleasant, you're happy. Again, it's probably clear when you're in this zone. Because perhaps there aren't as many thoughts rushing through your head. It just feels a bit nicer and things feel pretty calm and pretty chill. Now we're going to move into the left side of the graph, which is where things start to become a bit more complicated, I suppose, in terms of the emotions that can come up for you and also any thoughts that might be entering your mind at this time. It can make you feel quite clouded. So if we focus on the yellow zone here, kind of orange zone, this is where you have low feelings of pleasantness and also very low energy. So this is where someone might be just feel they're in despair, hopeless, depressed, just low. It might be you wake up, you're feeling low, you have no energy, you're feeling really unpleasant. You just want to, stay in bed. It might be you wake up, you're like, I just want to put the covers back on me. I don't want to do anything today. So you're feeling in a kind of low pleasantness and low energy. So this is like an orange zone. You may not even know why you're feeling like that. And that's the point of this tool. When we wake up or when we're going about our day and we just feel a bit confused or emotionally muddled, we don't really know what's going on, this is a really good way to kind of put us in a category as to where we think we might be. If you're feeling low, you're feeling depressed, you don't have a lot of energy, then you're in the orange zone here. When you have low pleasantness but a high amount of energy, this is where we start getting into, I guess, the really unpleasant emotions that we experience, such as anger. We may be feeling really anxious or stressed. We may have a surge of adrenaline within us. We might be in a kind of threatening situation of fight or flight. It's not pleasant at all, yet we have a lot of energy that's mobilizing us to act. And this consequently can be very draining. It can be incredibly draining when we're in that state. And it could even lead us towards, after that event or after that state, going into a more depressed, low kind of crash. This graph, as you can see, is a very straightforward way of plotting how pleasant am I feeling on the scale. I might be feeling very unpleasant. I might be feeling very pleasant, or somewhere in the middle. And how much energy do I have? So these are things that, while we may not be able to identify exactly how we're feeling, we might be feeling a bit low, a bit numb, anxious, and we don't really know why. This is a really useful way to plot our overall state of pleasantness and energy, which we can, if we take some time, we can more easily identify. How pleasant am I feeling? You might be feeling like meh, somewhere in the middle, maybe on the lower end. And how much energy do I have? Able to go out and do things, or do I just want to stay home and do nothing? So by using those two, I guess, metrics as an indicator of your mood, you are then able to combine them together, and on this graph, figure out what zone you are more likely to fall into. Within each zone, you then have an option of questions that you can ask yourself. So for example, what has just happened? What has happened that has resulted in me feeling, let's say, angry, anxious, stressed? I'm in the red zone. I'm feeling really unpleasant. I have a lot of energy. What's just happened for me to get to that point? And then that leads you to, what do I need now? Like, if something's happened, do I need to remove myself from the situation so I can get into a more calm, bluer state, which is where I know I'm going to react more optimally? Or do I not know what's happened? I just find myself feeling quite red. So what do I need? Do I need time out? Do I need to just stop what I'm doing? Do I need to do a meditation or journal? Do I need to watch a film? Whatever it is. So within each of these sections, depending on how you're feeling, you have a kind of mini action plan. If I'm feeling anxious or stressed, or if I'm in the red, I need to do grounding techniques or things that I know are going to bring me down into a blue state. If I'm feeling in the blue zone, like, calm, tranquil, content is a nice place to be. But there might be some situations where that's actually not great for me. So if I'm at work and I've got a deadline to meet, perhaps I just need to shift a bit more towards a higher energy state in order to really get things done and get motivated. So basically, depending on where you fall, you can create a kind of action plan for yourself and have it in your phone and remind yourself, right, I've checked in, I'm feeling orange. What's going to help me to get more green? Or what's going to help me to get more blue? If I'm feeling quite red, how can I move towards the green? So you're doing things in order to allow you to shift your state without having to necessarily think, about specifically how you feel. Another point of this exercise is that there is no good or bad. So it's not necessarily good to be happy all the time, or good or bad to be angry all the time. Life happens. We will shift between these states fluidly. Emotions and our feelings are fluid. If we're feeling in a state of anxiousness or stress, we will come out of that at some point. Now, unless you have, like, let's say, a chronic depression, which you've had for years, I'm talking about most people, in most of the time, we will swap between these states quite fluidly. So if we find ourselves feeling quite low or anxious, there's a very good chance that it is impermanent. We will come out of it. So it might be that you don't even need a strategy to come out of it. Like, you accept, I'm going to feel low and stressed sometimes, and that's okay. And that's the point. It's not a bad thing to be angry or stressed or anxious at times. It happens. Don't think I should be happy or blissful. Accept that life happens. We're going to roll with the punches. We're going to sometimes feel happy. We're going to sometimes feel low and sad, and it's okay to feel that way, as long as it is not to a point where we're constantly in those states and we're feeling stuck. And so this is, again, a really good gauge, and I suppose a really strong reminder of the fact that we will encounter these different states from time to time. And it's about what we find the most concerning in terms of our own personal experience. And we can do something about it if we want to. We can develop a strategic plan within each of these zones to help us to shift our states. So if this exercise is a really strong starting point in terms of building your own self-awareness, but also to help you to have a gauge on your emotions and your state overall, using pleasantness and energy as the metrics to do so. Thanks for watching. If you got value from this video, please like and subscribe, and feel free to comment below. There's going to be plenty more content coming out in the near future, and I'll see you in the next one.